all tonight for the cross-county matchup between a pair of rural schools on opposite ends of Ashland County. We've got the Redbirds of Loudonville hosting the Cougars of Crestview, streaming live and free right into the palm of your hand. Broadcasting on YouTube and Facebook to your smartphone, TV, and PC. High school football's back, baby, and it's all coming at you next.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kissel Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kissel.
Kissel's Lawncare. There's no job too big or too small for us to handle. With top-of-the-line equipment, we are guaranteed to complete your next landscaping job efficiently and professionally. A hard-working, dedicated team is what we take pride in, bringing to every job to make sure the results are the best they can be. So the next time you have a landscaping project that needs done, think smart and think Kissel.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
The 2021 season kicks off on Thursday night, where two programs will clash. Two rural communities often overlooked and overshadowed. The Cougars of Crestview travel to Loudonville to take on the Redbirds. A rivalry long-rooted and full of fierce competition, two programs hungry to start their season off on the right foot. Will Loudonville tame the Cougars, or will Crestview hunt down the Redbirds? Only time will tell who will become victorious.
Boy, I think that intro hype video and this a look at the fans here kind of tells the entire story, folks. We've got two small schools with big hopes for a 2021 season about to clash tonight inside of the Bird's Nest, where Loudonville and Crestview are just about set to tango, each desiring a 1-0 start to kick off the season. Good evening, folks, and welcome to Loudonville for a special Thursday night presentation of high school football. I'm Brian Skoronsky, joined by the one and only Mark Bollinger tonight. And what a great time of year. Everybody has the opportunity for a quick start to the season with a Week 1 victory, and especially for teams with high expectations like both of these squads feel like they have. So the stakes are a little bit higher, looking to go out, capture a big win tonight, Mark.
Absolutely. Optimism abounds across the state. Everybody feels really good right now. Everybody's sitting at 0-0. The anticipation of the upcoming season, and with the expanded playoffs, people are looking forward to trying to get that first win and work their way towards that playoff berth.
And what a different look to the football stadium that we have here tonight than a season ago. Look at all these smiling fans in the stands, and probably could make a big difference here for the Birds having the home field advantage.
Well, the home field advantage is going to be a little bit better this year than it was in the past. As you said, better crowds this year are being anticipated, going to bring about that school spirit. As school's starting, the students are ready to get out here and have fun on Thursday and Friday nights. And yeah, it's just great to see the community involvement and the fans back here at the stadium supporting these local student athletes.
And here's the Loudonville band. Got some football player team members out there playing the school alma mater, getting us ready for tonight's contest. And both of these teams, too, are going to have first-year starters under center. So we're going to be watching the first career start for both the junior Hayden Kuhn of the Cougars, sophomore Matt Sprang for the Birds. We'll talk more about that right here on the other side of the national anthem. Here's the Star-Spangled Banner. fabulous rendition right there by the Loudonville Marching Band, getting us closer to kickoff here, just 8 minutes away from the start of this game. And like I mentioned, 2 young guys are going to be making their first career starts as signal callers here tonight, Mark. So, you know, that could boil down to who is the victorious team here, the Cougars or the Birds, with Matt Spring going toe-to-toe with Hayden Kuhn.
Well, it's going to be fun to see which of the young guys settle in a little bit quicker tonight. And one thing that is going to be a great benefit, and some of the coaches I've talked to have talked about this at length, the fact that the rules changed a little bit this summer where they were allowed to have more than those 10 contact days. So they feel that the skill position players, especially the quarterbacks, might be a little bit further along right now than they have been compared to years past. So maybe that'll be a great benefit to these 2 young guys as they make their first starts.
Yeah, that's a fabulous point that you make there. The unlimited access that they had to their players during the summer, and universally it seems like the players and the coaches all like it, having that extra communication and the extra progression throughout the preseason, Mark. So I think you're right. I think we should expect teams to be a little bit ahead of the curve here in week 1, but there's always those first game jitters, which is one of our keys to the game that we're going to take a look at, presented by J&F Construction. And, you know, sometimes you got to shake it off, man. You know, you've been out there, you've had a couple of scrimmages, but until it's under these Thursday night lights and it's for real, Mark, you don't really know what you got.
Yeah, when the pads start popping and it counts, you know, it counts for the season record, it changes things a little bit, and those first game jitters are going to be critical. That comes back to limiting turnovers, especially the 2 young guys under center. Limit the turnovers, you know, work your team down the field. If you have to punt, that's okay. Just don't turn the ball over and give the other team good field position.
And for Crestview in the past, typically these teams coached by Steve Haverdell, physicality is at a premium for them. They always like to get after it in the trenches, and then also the skill guys too. They'll come up and they'll pop you.
They're going to pop you. One thing about a Steve Haverdell team is they are usually tough and physical, and I think you're going to see that tonight when they really try to establish the run game and just grind it out and just man up and just try to run the ball down Loudonville's throats.
And that is the game plan tonight for Coach Haverdell and his bunch, with a first-year starting quarterback. And granted, it's a Coon. We know that name, of course. We just had Ross here, the starter for the last couple of seasons, a record breaker for them this past year. But it's going to be his first career start, so they're going to try to ease him in if they can with a couple of running backs, keep it on the ground. So quarterback play, that's our last key here, Mark. We already touched on this, but, you know, it's a big one, most important position in sports.
It is a big one, and they said the running game is going to take the pressure off of both the young quarterbacks, so I'm sure we'll see both teams try to establish that run game, control the tempo, control some clock, use up some of that clock early, and we'll just see who gets off to a good start and get this thing going in about 5 minutes.
And for Loudonville, they thought, at least at the end of last season, that they were going to have a couple of young studs that are going to be sophomores this year running the ball for them. Both have exited and will be playing for West Holm, so that's a big pickup for the Knights when you talk about Sam Williams-Dixon and Kyle Maltrich. So there's a big hole there to be filled that the Birds are going to have to try to find some guys to get in there.
Well, when you're dealing, especially in small schools, with unexpected transfers out, or, you know, situations where student athletes move, it can create a lot of trouble for a program. You know, a lot of these coaches do a really good job with their youth programs. They see these guys coming for years and years from, you know, elementary, middle school, junior high, and then you have them for a year at the freshman level. They have breakout seasons, and then all of a sudden they transfer out for, you know, whatever reason it may be. And so you just look to the next guys and say, hey, it's time to step up. Next man up. Somebody's got to step up and fill those shoes, and I'm sure there's some Loudonville guys that are ready to step up and do just that.
And that's exactly what the Loudonville coaching staff told me, is that, hey, these other guys, they can play too. You know, they're lacing up the shoes here tonight. They're coming out here. They're expecting to get their touches and make the most of them. So certainly I think we need to keep an eye on a couple of key guys here for the Birds in Gabe Spring and Zach Frankfurt, 2 top returners in terms of the receiving game. And then Peyton Reagan is the guy that I think that they're going to try to lean on a little bit when they put it on the ground attack.
I expect we'll see a lot of Reagan, and like you said, you know, it's always next man up, and it's an opportunity. And for some of these other guys, hey, here's their chance to shine under the lights. Get me the ball, coach, and let's see what I can do.
And on the other side for the Cougars, you talk about having to get some new guys plug and play into the lineup. They graduated, I believe, 12 seniors from last year, maybe the most decorated football class that they have ever had. 8 wins that they had last year in the shortened season with all the COVID restrictions. They won a playoff game, so there's a lot of young guys that are going to be seeing the field for the first time tonight, Mark.
There's some young guys that are going to have to step up, make contributions, but, whether it's football or any other sport, a lot of times at high school level, you talk about tradition never graduates. Those guys are gone, but the tradition stays, the expectations stay the same. And hopefully for those young guys, they've watched those older guys who have laid the foundation, and they're ready to continue on from where they left off last season.
Looks like the Cougars have made their way out onto the field. Getting ready to march out here for week 1 on a special Thursday night presentation here on the OH Report. And boy, we got a ton of live and free games coming up for you throughout the entire season. I believe I counted just south of 60 that we got, Mark, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's a lot of fun and a lot of football for fans that want to watch.
So here is Crestview coming out on the field for the first time in 2021. As mentioned, this team won 8 games a season ago up against just a couple of losses. Were able to get that postseason win, and then didn't go so well for them in the second round of the playoffs against Cary, but 5-1 in the Firelands Conference, and it was a really high-scoring team. 418 points they scored during those 11 games, so 38 points per game is what they were putting up last season. It's a little bit different look, of course, here when you talk about Evan Hamilton no longer in the lineup. Chase Shiflett is gone. Ross Kuhn, the record-breaking quarterback. So it's going to be a little bit different look out here, Mark, but it doesn't mean that they can't be just as successful moving the ball in different ways.
Right. The look may be a little different, but Coach Haverdill is looking for the results to be the same.
Sure.
When you're in a program that scores 38 points a game, they know how to find the end zone, and I'm sure they're going to continue to try to do that tonight. But like we said, look for it to happen on the ground, because that seems to be the bread and butter for the Cougars.
And for Coach Pataglia and his staff, first year, been here with the program for 5 seasons, but getting his first chance as a head coach, super exciting for him. And these kids coming out here, as mentioned, they lost a couple of kids that they thought were going to be key contributors, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other guys that can step in, and when they get their moment to shine, sometimes it happens, Mark, with the guys that you're not expecting step up, big contributors.
Absolutely. Guys get the opportunity, they step forward to do so, and it's also going to be critical for Coach to stay calm. Making that change from the assistant role into a head coaching job, first game of the season, you're now the guy who's, on the hot seat, you're the guy calling the shots. So you want to have that enthusiasm, but you also want to stay under control and poised and make the right decisions to put your team in the best position to be victorious.
Coach John does have some great enthusiasm. I was watching him when I was out on the field in the pregame, and he's just one of those type of dudes, always got a smile on his face, looked like a super positive guy with the kids. So from what I've seen, at least here today in the pregame, the players have bought in, they like their new coach, and he's got them feeling like they can come out here, put on a show for the home fans tonight.
Absolutely. The body language and nonverbal showed that he is invested in this program and invested in these kids, and he is a positive guy, and he's looking for a positive result tonight.
Well, that is going to do it for our J&F Construction pregame, as we are just about ready for kickoff. The Cougars are out on the field. Here comes Loudonville. They are going to kick off. So it should be the Cougars starting lineup for offense that's going to be starting out there here tonight versus the Loudonville defense. Should be a fun matchup overall. Really excited to see what the 2021 version of Crestview looks like when it comes to the offensive end, because they do have those 2 stud running backs that return.
And we're going to get a chance to see it right away. We'll see what happens after the kickoff, and we'll see if they go to that, if they're going to use this time that they've had this summer to propel that passing game along a little bit, to maybe open it up a little bit and shock maybe not only us but Loudonville.
So the Birds do have it teed up. Baylor Weiser getting set to kick it deep. And it's actually going to be a short kick. It's going to be fielded just south of the 25-yard line. And a pretty decent return by Bryce Perkins. It's going to have the Cougars set up at the 35. So we'll get our first look at Hayden Kuhn under center. Sporting the number 5 tonight. Crestview in the white uniforms with the black pants. The Cougars break the huddle, little pro look here. 2 receivers here to the near side. two running backs. And the give is to Wade Bolin. Bruises his way forward for a gain of a couple.
Nice job on first down, getting the running game established. Picked up almost 5 in the first play of 2021.
Go ahead and meet the starting lineups first for the Crestview Cougars. We already talked about Kuhn, Morris, and Bolin in the backfield. They've got Smedley in the speedster, Moore on the outside. Owen Barker's playing tight end. And then Cunningham, Stewart, Barker, Ringler, and Godsey fill out the offensive front. Second down from the gun, little swing pass here. It's to Morris. Got some nice blocking, forming in front of him, sheds off a would-be tackler, and he's across midfield.
Yeah, great job of just getting the ball to Morris so he could get out in space. He got out there in a little one-on-one and looked like he got a first down, but it looks like we might have a flag on the play.
There is a flag on the far sideline right in front of the Crestview bench. And this one's going to go against the Cougars, and the flag way downfield too, so it came after the first down was already established, Mark.
Yeah, and as a coach, that's tough. You know, your second play from scrimmage, and you go ahead and you get that penalty, and it's just one of those where you had a great job calling with the right play call, got your blocking taken care of, get the first down, but then obviously the penalty is going to bring it back.
So instead of moving the sticks, instead it's second down and 6 from the 39. Smedley, the receiver here to the near side, and here's the handoff. Morris, again, gonna pick it up. He's got the first down again.
And again, it looks like they're really trying to get him out in space. He's got good speed, looks to be a little shifty, so if they can get him out in the flats like that, looks like gonna be some success for the Cougars.
And this is what they're going up against here tonight, the starting lineup for the Redbird defense. Got Stanton coming off the edge along with Fordenwalt and Brown in the middle. Gearhart as well on the end, and then Sprang, Reagan at the linebacker position. Fordenwalt, Harper, Beachy, and Henley are in the defensive backfield. Straight up the middle this time, Bolin drives his way across midfield out to the 48-yard line.
And again, exactly what we expected out of this Cougar team. They're just going to line it up and pound it out here. Good job running off tackle. Another good gain on first down.
So it'll be a second down and 5. Kuhn brings a man in motion. They'll hand it off. It's going to be Tanner Moore, 6'3" senior, and boy, he can really blaze. This is a track star, guys, and look at him into the open field. Looks like he stepped out of bounds at about the 33. But you can tell if he gets a little bit of open space in front of him, boy, can he go.
Yeah, the Cougars look like they're really trying to attack the open field, get guys out in space and see if they can use their speed to make some guys miss and just get some space. And again, barely stepped out. I thought he was going to cut it back for a touchdown.
Number 20, you certainly, I think, could peg as an X factor for this club this season. Looking to fill the shoes that have been left by an all-district type of guy like Evan Hamilton, and I think Tanner Moore has all the physical tools that you look for to try to step up, fill that void. Here on 1st and 10, out to the 25-yard line, it's going to be a gain of 8 for Crestview. Excellent start here for Coach Haverdale and his offense, getting pretty much everything that he wants, keeping it on the ground, mostly safe plays, and getting the first-time starting quarterback comfortable in his role.
Yeah, and he sets himself up here, second and short, could do a lot here. Instead, they're just going to give it to a quick handoff.
Morris gets driven back, but not until after he picked up what they needed to move the chains again, so it's going to be another first down here for the Cougs. Took about 3 Loudonville players to all converge and make that stop.
Again, just another methodical opening season drive for Crestview, just putting the ball on the ground and just grinding it away.
Morris, the deep man. He's got the give, but stuffed up right away. Nice big hit in the middle there, brought down by Peyton Reagan.
Good job there by Loudonville's front. First time we've seen on this drive that they've done a good job and basically 1 first down. Now we're going to get, 2nd and 8 here for the Cougars.
This is how you can win the game here, too, with a young quarterback. Get them into these 2nd down and long situations where, like you were just saying, now the playbook, it's got to be a little bit more open. Can't play it safe here. Bird stacking the box. Here's play action. Kuhn rolling right. Steps up, and then he gets dropped in the backfield, and it's number 44 again, Reagan making the play.
Nice job by Reagan, just trailing the play. Quarterback tried to get out wide. He just stayed with it, was able to bring him down from behind, held him to a short gain, maybe even a 1-yard loss.
So it'll be 3rd and long here from the 21. Can the Birds get a big stop here and then make it decision time here for Crestview with a 4th down?
I'm guessing it's probably 2-down territory here for the Cougars anyway. But we'll see what they can get here on 3rd and long.
Morris motions. Kuhn steps up, fires, too tall, and it's nearly picked off by Beachy. In and out of the hands.
Right idea. Ball just sailed a little bit on him. Thought we were going to have our first turnover of the game. Instead, it's going to set up 4th and 9.
And it's almost a good thing that sailed there. I mean, that was just trouble everywhere for Hayden Kuhn. Kind of locked on to that number 1 target, and it was the perfect coverage there for the Birds. Had him covered underneath and then over the top. 4th down and 8. Big play here. Kuhn and Morris in the backfield. 2 receivers set here to the left. Kuhn looks that way, throws it. Smedley's got the grab. And depending on the spot, yeah, it does look like they're going to move the sticks. Big play.
Nice play. Got him out wide, was able to get the catch, turn up field, and get the 1st down. Going to move the chains, keep the drive going on the 4th down conversion. Gain of 11.
And an excellent run after the catch right there by Smedley. Needed at least to get an extra yard there after he turned upfield. He was able to turn it into about 3 or 4.
Right, real nice job catching, like I said, getting himself upfield. A lot of guys may have caught that and let the momentum and take him right on out of bounds. Instead, he got upfield. And we go right back to the running game.
And they give it to Morris. Not a lot there. But he is able to fall forward close to the 5-yard line. So what didn't look like a whole lot of space, he turned into about a 5-yard pickup.
It'll be interesting to see as the game goes on if this kind of methodical, grinded out action wears down Loudonville as the game goes on, because Crestview's just pretty much lining it up and we're running it right at you, just trying to wear down that front for the Birds.
Second down and goal from the 5. Morris tries to cut inside and nothing doing that time. Connor Harper, the senior, blew it up in the backfield.
Great job by Harper. Shot the gap, got in there, wrapped him up. It's going to bring up 3rd down now. So we'll see if the Birds can get a stop here and again force another 4th down attempt by the Cougars.
Phenomenal drive here to open up the 2021 campaign, though, for Crestview. Of course, you would love to end it with some points, but they've already burned up half of the quarter, Mark.
Half the quarter, and I believe this is the 13th play of the drive.
They're just going to keep it on the ground with Morris. Lost his footing as he tried to cut it back. There was a narrow gap for him.
Yeah, they ran the counter action there, and Morris had a gap. It looked like he was going to be able to get into the end zone. Instead, lost his footing, falls just a little bit short. And again, a big 4th down here. Big play early in the game for both teams.
It's exciting stuff. It's going to be 4th down goal from about the 3-yard line. Kuhn and Smedley entering into the huddle here. Gabe's going to split out wide up top.
So we might see Kuhn here on a little rollout, run pass option off of this. Instead, nope, quick hitter.
And it's snuffed out by the Birds, and guess who? Peyton Reagan creating some fireworks in the backfield. Wade Bolin never had a chance.
Didn't have a chance. They read that. Great job at the line of scrimmage, standing them up, neutralizing, filled the hole, and finished with the big hit and a turnover on downs for the Birds.
Psychologically, that's a tough one to go back to the sideline here for Crestview, I think. You got to feel good about what you just accomplished, getting down to the 3-yard line, but coming away with no points stings a little bit, Mark. So, you know, be glass half full type of guy if you're the coaching staff, but at the same time, if you don't get points on the board, that's tough.
It is tough. Yeah, 14 plays, 61 yards. Like you said, ate up a bunch of time, but in the end, nothing on the scoreboard. So a little frustrating. You have to feel good if you're Coach Haverdale, though, about the way you move the ball. Just didn't execute in the red zone, but now let's see if defense can get something going and they can get themselves a stop in a short field, or we'll see if the Redbirds can take this one down the field and get the first points of 2021.
So that'll be up to the Cougars defense here to try to make something out of the filled chunks that Crestview just picked up here offensively. Can they shut the Redbirds down and get the ball right back? Birds keep it on the ground here on first down, and it's going to be a gang tackle right about the 5-yard line. Let's go ahead and meet the offensive starters here for Loudonville. We mentioned Sprang in the pregame, making his first start here tonight. Reagan's going to be in the backfield. We've got Gabe Sprang, Frankfurt, and Harper at the wide receivers, along with Henley. And then a solid offensive line with Stanton, Brenneman, Weiser, and Pierce. Second down, they keep it on the ground. And again, it's big number 44, Reagan, making his presence felt.
Well, the Birds went to 4 wideouts. Little quick handoff. He got outside. Reagan got outside and got himself some space. First down for the Birds.
Finally tackled there at the end of the play by Connor Morris.
So backed up within their own end zone at the 5-yard line. Reagan gets a 14-yard run. Gives them a little bit of space, a little bit of cushion. Open things up a little bit more here in the playbook.
So out to the 19-yard line. First down and 10, 3 wide. Sprang looking. Going to break the pocket. Flag comes in. But as of now, looked like he was able to evade there, Mason Ringler, and then pick up a couple, but we'll have to wait and see what the penalty was.
Probably going to get a hold.
That's exactly what the call is going to be, so it's going to back him up 10.
And you may see Loudonville come back to that. You know, with run the spread formation, there's some gaps there for some quarterback draw, some looks like that. So if Sprang doesn't have anything, he looks to be a little bit elusive here. So you might see him drop back and go with the quarterback draw and create some good gains in that running game with those lanes that open up by the offensive line.
And here's the starting lineup presented by J&F Construction. The defensive starters here for Crestview. Certainly highlighted by a few of the returners. Gotzi in the senior role this season. Morris was spectacular last year. Smedley now at the strong safety position, filling in for a kid who was a first-team All-Firelands Conference safety last year, and Ross Kuhn. There's Sprang breaking the pocket. Not a lot of room out there on the far sideline, though, so it will bring up second down and long.
Good job by Crestview, making sure they kept containment, continued to keep their assignments and stay home, and limit him to a short gain.
So there's the sophomore Sprang looking over to the sideline. Looks like the play call is coming in kind of late here as the play clock down to 12.
And possessions are going to be at a premium tonight. Looks like both teams are going to try to control the clock. So, you know, when you do have a chance to score, like Crestview did early, you might need to get those points on the board because it may cost you later.
Sprang does just get the snap off, and he's going to be intercepted. And here's a house call, 10 or more. Reservations for 6.
Great job by Moore, reading the play, cut in front of the receiver, and took it to the house. So the Cougars get one on the defensive side.
Tanner Moore with the big INT and taking it in for the first points here of 2021. It looked like earlier in the game he might get it on the offensive end on that around the end play, but instead picks it off, takes it in. I talked about the fact he's an X factor on the squad. You don't get much bigger than a defensive score.
And that is big for momentum. It looked like Loudonville was trying to get out of their own territory a little bit there, and then of course the turnover for the touchdown. An extra point's going to be added on to make it 7-0.
So the key mistake, the interception thrown by Matt Sprang on his first pass attempt of the season. Moore just read it all the way, undercut the intended target, Connor Harper, and all the way back for a big Cougar score.
Now it's going to be the mental game right here. You have a young quarterback, first start out there, made a mistake, cost him. Now bounce back. Let that play go. Forget that one. Get back out there. Positive attitude. Give him something here. I'm guessing as the coaching staff, you're right now as the offensive coaching staff, you're probably talking like, what are our best play calls? Something simple that we can get him going again, get him some confidence. We don't want him overthinking this and making another mistake, on top of that one.
Might even see him come out on first down, put up a quick little throw, just get his confidence built back up, let him know, hey, buddy, long game. You just gotta let him die sometimes when the bad things happen.
Right, or even maybe run a keeper, let him get hit. A good hit will also do the same kind of thing. So, we'll see how they respond here, but great job by the Crestview defense to get the first point for them of 2021, and they're feeling good, leading 7-0 with 3:35 to go here in the first.
Pick six by Tanner Moore. First points of the season for Crestview. I see he's out here, senior, playing special teams as well, the gunner on the outside. And for these small schools, that's sometimes it's a privilege, Mark, because they need you. If you're a great athlete, you got to step up and play about 4 different roles if you can.
Right, and if you're a competitor, you'll love it because you don't want to be off the field. You see a lot of guys, at some bigger schools who are begging their coaches, like, Coach, let me play both ways. Let me play on special teams. It's one of the great things I love about smaller schools is you get these young men in this situation where they get the opportunity where they don't have to come off the field.
Officials look like they're having a good time down there, a lot of smiles. So everybody having fun here on this special Thursday night season kickoff, opening up the 2021 campaign. Got a full menu for you guys tomorrow as well. 4 live streams on the OH Report. Have 3 highlights coming for you too. Just about every week we're going to have at least 10 games of coverage. So nobody in all of North Central Ohio covers as much football as what you're watching right now. This one's going to be fielded at the 20-yard line. Here's Harper, big space.
There we go.
Harper to the outside, he's got a block. It's a foot race, but there's Moore, the fastest guy on the field, able to chase him down. But how about flipping the field there, the senior, setting up his young quarterback in the red zone.
But what a great response to adversity. You give up the pick six, you go down early, things could have quickly went away. Instead, Harper gets the kickoff and takes it down the left side and puts the Birds in great position to get this one back to even.
And I think that was a great picture right there to show just how fast Moore was. He's about 7 yards behind the play, caught him about 30 yards later.
Right, did a great job, took a good angle, saved the touchdown, but now it's going to be up to the defense. We'll see if Crestview can get a stop. But if you're Loudonville, you're feeling great because you got a short field and a chance here to get it even.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. 3:23 to go here in this opening quarter.
First drive of the season, they started in the shadow of their own goal line at their own 3. Now we're on the 14-yard line of Crestview.
The fortunes have changed this go-around for Matt Sprang. And here he is on first down from the gun. Looking left all the way, throwing that way. This time he's got his first completion. Zach Frankfurt pulled it in on the far sideline.
And a real good job by the offensive coordinator there. I love the play call of coming right back and putting the ball in Sprang's hand and letting him get another pass under his belt right after that last pass was a turnover for a touchdown. Real nice job. Great completion there to get 2nd and short.
It's going to be an eligible man downfield, however, for the Birds. So that first completion of the season going to be wiped out, unfortunately, for Matt. And the Loudonville coaching staff disagreeing with the call. They're having a conversation with the official here on the near side.
It's a pretty quick pass. I'm not sure lineman could have got 3 yards down the field that quick, but yeah. Hey, it's the first night for the officials as well, so they may miss a couple tonight as well.
Referees do stop the clock here to reset the play clock.
On that first possession, Reagan had 2 carries for 16 yards. Probably see him with the ball again. Instead, they fake it to him.
And they've got an open man with a couple of blocks on the far sideline, barreling his way in. Gabe Sprang down to about the 5.
Nice job. Used Reagan as a decoy. Went with the play action. Quick hit to Gabe Sprang.
So perhaps younger bro hooking up with big bro. Brothers, these Sprang boys? I can confirm they are brothers. This time Matt, 3 receiver set, Cougars show blitz. They'll bring it off both sides. And they do get to Reagan, but boy, he is a powerhouse, man. Hard to bring him down with just a single guy. Able to eke his way forward for about 1.
Yeah, they were anticipating the run there, and they guessed right. But with the situation, it's still 3rd down, but it's 3rd and really short here. So a lot of things Loudonville can do is they're trying to punch it in here from the about 4.5-yard line.
Will the Birds put it in the air? About to find out. Sprang with Reagan behind him. He'll turn, they'll just hand it off. Hold to the left side. Collapse quickly though. Boy, look at all those Crestview bodies inside. Looked like Aiden Gotze was the one to finally make the stop.
And I think you might see that the next couple of plays until they can hit pay dirt. I don't think the ball's going to come out of Reagan's hands.
Was able to get just enough for a fresh set. So 1st and goal now from the 3-yard line. And you're right. I don't think giving it to 44 4 straight times sounds too bad at all.
He's a workhorse. And you got 1st and goal from the 3. Give it to the big fella and see if he can pound it in.
Birds do spread him out. They've got one-on-one coverage on the outside. Not a great snap. Sprang able to corral it. Reaching for the end zone, and he's going to be stopped just shy. Probably about a foot outside.
But a great job by the young quarterback of making a play off of the bad snap. Instead of it being a disaster, he's able to make something positive out of it. Gets him into a 2nd and goal.
As we approach the 1-minute mark here of the opening quarter. If you're just joining us, Crestview burned up a ton of clock on their opening drive, got all the way down inside the 5-yard line, could not convert on a 4th down. And then on the ensuing Loudonville possession, Tanner Moore with a big pick 6 has the only points of the game. Birds looking to answer that right here. Play action. And Sprang is going to be sacked. About the only thing that you couldn't have happen there. Owen Barker coming in, the junior, blowing it up in the backfield.
Parker blew it up, did a great job of reading the quarterback, tried to get it outside instead. Barker blew it up and is going to make it a difficult situation. But do we have another penalty flag?
Looks like there is a flag down on the field at about the 6-yard line. No indication as of yet to what the call is going to be.
Oh, big call right there.
It's going to be a face mask against the Cougars, a personal foul. It doesn't appear that it happened on the tackle there for Barker. Must have been outside of the actual play itself. Whatever it was, it's still going to be, I don't believe that's an automatic 1st down, Mark, so I think it's still going to be 3rd down and goal coming up here for Loudonville. But at least
it's going to come back to execution then.
Yeah, well, it gives
3rd and goal from the 3 here. We'll see what they draw up.
Sprang turns, hands off Reagan, big hole, and he's in there. Touchdown, Birds.
Great job going off left tackle. The big fella got going, the offensive line opened a hole, and he finished the drive.
So Loudonville taking advantage of the short field. Didn't have to go very far. Sprang and company, get it done.
Yeah, didn't have to go very far. 14 yards all they had to go, but it took them 7 plays. But in the end, they put 6 on the board, and we'll see if they can tie it up here with the PAT.
And the kick is up. It is through from the Loudonville kicker, Aiden Neighbor. So we are all square at 7 apiece. It's been a really fun first quarter. We've seen a little bit of everything. Great run game, some stellar defense, big-time playmaking ability, some weird calls.
Breakdown of special teams.
Let's go, Mark.
First
Football's
game,
back.
first game.
Where else would you rather be on a Thursday night?
But again, what a great time of year. Beautiful night here in Loudonville. Good crowd out here, back supporting these high school student athletes. The bands are playing. Like you said, what a great night. Where else would you rather be? What a wonderful weekend to be kicking off high school football. And I know a lot of the other sports are underway. The golf teams have been playing, the tennis teams. Volleyball is going to be getting started. The soccer teams are getting started. So, good luck to not just the student athletes out here playing tonight, but all those in other sports. Hope they have a great season and stay healthy and enjoy having the family and the friends back in the stands watching them play.
It just makes such a difference for the entire environment of the game. Being out on the field pregame and just watching people piling in through those turnstiles and coming out here, Mark, it feels like football is officially back, man.
You can feel the energy. There's energy in the stadium. That's one thing we talked about last year with football and basketball. It seemed to be lacking something, and it's back tonight, and we've got a good one so far.
Weiser with the kick. It's going to be fielded right about at the 20-yard line. Nearly breaking away from the pack there was Addison Raymer.
Yeah, Raymer had one man to beat. He wrapped him up about the 39-yard line, but a nice return of about 20 yards. Going to set Ashland Crestview up with a good starting field position.
Last time and the only time that the Cougars had the ball here in this first quarter, they drove right down the field, got it inside the 5 and could not capitalize. We'll see what happens here on drive number 2 of the season. Gonna bring a man in motion. Kuhn fakes to him, straight up the middle. Tripped up down low, 5-yard pickup on first down.
Well, and that's gonna start to open up a little bit more as Moore becomes dangerous. We saw what he did the first time they had the ball. We saw what he did defensively. So that little jet sweep action is really holding those linebackers, and that allowed Kuhn to be able to fake the handoff and cut it up the field for a nice gain on first down.
That's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. We're all square at 7 apiece. You're watching live and free high school football exclusively on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Score is 7-7 here at the Bird's Nest, where Loudonville and Crestview, Ashland County rivals, locking horns here to kick off the 2021 football season. And a lot to really unpack there from that first quarter. We'll see how Crestview follows up their opening act on offense here with their second drive after they had so much success on the ground. Here comes more in motion again. They're going to stick with that, and I think rightfully so, but Kuhn brought down by about 3 birds. We're all able to get to him pretty quick, Mark.
It looked like it was Reagan that came on the blitz and was able to get to him before the play could develop.
What a player this Reagan is.
He's a nice player. Looks like be about a loss of 7.
So Peyton Reagan been into the end zone, had his hand in about probably 5 tackles already so far tonight. He's the early leader in my clubhouse for the Kissel's Landscaping, Spraying, and Painting Player of the Game. Here's Gabe Smedley coming up the middle. He's a speedster too. High stepping his way out across the 50 before he's knocked down. Nice pickup and a first down.
Yeah, great job by Smedley. Got the ball, was able to cut back against the grain, weave his way through, fight for a first down to keep the drive moving.
Take one more look here. Kuhn looking off the defenders, allowing it to develop, letting the lineman break through, and then Smedley just enough speed to get by the outstretched arms there of Reagan.
Yeah, it looked like he broke 3 or 4 tackles there and was able to get the first down.
Second down, Morris throws his gloves down onto the field right before the handoff, and he takes it and he trucks his way forward. 14-yard pickup.
Good hard run, just kept his feet churning as he was taking the hit and drove on down there for, like you said, about a 14-yard run.
Don't see that very often where a player just eliminates his gloves right before the play, just throws them right in the middle of the field. Sometimes you just need that skin contact with the pigskin, Mark. Two tight ends set here for Crestview. Hard count by Kuhn, nearly got him to jump off sides. Said they keep it on the ground, and they're out to about the 31-yard line on the pickup here from Wade Boland.
Again, just attacking the inside of the Loudonville defense.
Two minutes gone by now on our Shakely Mechanical Inc. scoreboard. Just a big shout out to all our sponsors helping us bring live and free coverage for all these teams here in the area. We've had a ton of sponsor support this season after, you know, what was such a fun 2020-21 campaign. So just want to thank each and every one of our sponsors like Scout Construction, Shakely's, Kissel's, everybody to help make this game possible. You guys are awesome.
And again, you see Crestview just churning up the clock, just churning out yards, play after play, just keeping it on the ground and just taking it down the field. And looked like they tried to go off last tackle that time, but Loudonville defense is there to get a stop.
Gage Bloodhart that time with the carry. Really didn't have anywhere to go because, surprise, surprise, gentleman wearing big number 44, kind of waiting for him on the other side.
They did a real good job of winning the battle at the line of scrimmage there. Set up 2nd and 10.
Crestview sends Smedley down here to the near side. Lone wide out. Kuhn looking his way. And now he throws a little bit behind Smedley. Wasn't able to make the grab at the 10-yard line. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, tough throw there, trying to throw back across his body to the receiver who was inside the numbers and just threw a little bit behind him, and the ball's going to drop, bring up 3rd and long.
So Hayden Kuhn making his first career start here tonight. Of course, everybody remembers his brother from the last couple of seasons. Ross, a 4-year starter, 2 of those at the quarterback position, a record breaker for them last year. Did it on the ground and through the air. Nearly 3,000 combined yards for him. So Hayden looking to fill those shoes. He's got a nice completion here to Morris.
Ball's loose.
He did fumble, and it looked like Loudonville the first to get on it, but might have been ripped away on the bottom of the pile by Caleb Cunningham. Flag also down on the field. Or maybe it was just an official.
Yeah, through the marker, I believe, for the
right.
fumble. They got to bring up 4th down. Crestview's going to go for it again.
And it was the hit by Connor Harper. Looked like he came in with his lid and was able to jar that ball loose, but Heads-up play down on the bottom. Caleb Cunningham able to get the ball back.
Crestview lined up to attempt a 35-yard field goal.
And we saw this kid, Devin Holloway, on opening night of the soccer season. This dude can absolutely bomb it. He had 2 goals in the Cougars opener, and look at this kick. It is up. It is through.
And that's a great weapon to have at the high school level. A lot of schools don't have the ability to get, down to the red zone, around the red zone area, and go to their field goal unit. And Crestview has that, and they go up 10-7.
It is a nice weapon to have in your back pocket at the high school level, like you mentioned, and in particular at some of these smaller schools. You don't think a ton about the kicking game, but it is one of the 3 phases, and if you got a good kicker, like it appears Crestview does in Holloway, it can be pretty nice as the season rolls along to put up 3 instead of trying to go for it on 4th down.
Absolutely. Instead of going for it, on 4th and long, you can put points on the board. It's also big in the special teams game, like you said, trying to win field position and those kinds of things. So it's a great weapon to have, especially as you go on in the season trying to win a conference championship and you get into the playoff chase. A lot of those playoff games is the farther you advance, those field goals, extra points, going for 2, those things usually tend to make the difference in big games like that.
Not to bring up a sore subject for Cougars fans, but a couple of years ago in that big playoff game against East Knox, they had that game-winning field goal that just missed. That could have sent them on to the next round. So it appears that the Cougars now at least have a kicker in place that they can rely on for those big kicks. And as mentioned, Holloway, if you guys have an opportunity, go onto the OH Report website or check out our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Check out the Crestview versus St. Peter's highlight from the boys soccer match last week on Friday Night Football. Boy, Holloway, he had 2 bomb goals.
It's always great to see that. You see that at a lot of schools where the soccer team has one of their players out here kicking with the football team, playing with some of his other buddies, and it's always a nice lift for the football team, and a great job there with the tackle, and looks like we're going to get another flag on the play.
Yeah, you're right. That was Morris. Kind of gave up the body there, came in like a blown-up missile into the play to make the stop. Flag down at the 33. It's going to be holding against Loudonville, so they're going to back it up again. And it'll be long field position for Spring and company. See exactly where they mark it off, certainly inside the 20. And at approximately the 15, that's where the Birds will set up shop. Excellent drive last time they had the football, though, Mark.
It was a short one, but it was a good one, and they were able to convert on that. So it'll be interesting to see here. 3rd possession, 3rd series for Loudonville offense. The first one, turnover for a touchdown. The last one was a short field. They were able to execute and get a touchdown. Now they've got some space here. See what they can do.
It's going to be Spraying Morris, able to track him down, but not until he was able to get about 8 yards on the first down gainer.
Nice job there by Sprang, reading the defensive end, making the right read and getting the ball wide into space.
There's the young quarterback having a conversation with his head coach. In no hurry here. Still a dozen seconds on the play clock as they break the huddle. Trips up to the top of your screen. Instead, they're going to keep it on the ground here near side. Nice cutback. And Reagan muscles his way out across the 30 to the 32.
Good job running a little isolation there. Reagan was able to get another nice gain.
Morris again in on the tackle. He has been everywhere defensively here tonight so far for Crestview.
For Reagan so far, 6 carries for 25 yards. They've been tough yards, but they've been big yards for the Birds.
Here's the 3-3 stack look. Crestview's emphasizing this season, and the deep ball just about 2 yards out in front of the intended target, Dylan Fenton. But I like the look, I like the read, the one-on-one coverage, and the receiver had a step just a little too far.
Absolutely, put in a good place, put it on that outside shoulder, give his receiver a chance. But again, that's the kind of play that's going to loosen up that defensive front a little bit, make sure that they respect that passing game, and look for the Redbirds to come back to that later in the second half.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Loudonville with a 3-receiver set this time, the lone back. Hayden Ford and Walt. And he's going to get the handoff straight up the middle. Drop down after a gain of about 2. Approaching the midway point here, the second quarter. Loudonville looking for back-to-back scoring drives. They're going to have to convert here, though. 3rd down and 8. And we see on our Facebook fan zone, Ross Kuhn tuning in, watching Baby Bro as this one's uncorked deep. Looked like some tight coverage on the play. Some fans up here in the bird's nest wanted some pass interference as Zach Frankfurt was locked up in coverage with Caden Cunningham. Let's take another look here on the replay.
Maybe that left hand a little bit on that shoulder, but we also have a flag in the backfield. Looks like it's going to be what his offensive was holding, but Crestview will decline the penalty and bring up 4th down. But I'll tell you what, another nice ball by Sprang. They're close to connecting on those balls over the top like that, and I think they're going to get one yet tonight.
Looks like the offense staying on the field here unless Sprang also doubles as the punter.
Maybe try to draw them off sides.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're trying to do here, Mark. Now Sprang will step back. See if he boots it away. He will, but right into the interior. So it's going to be knocked down pretty much at the line of scrimmage and then recovered by Owen Barker. So did not go well, and it looks, typically in these situations, if you're going to have your quarterback double as your punter, you got to be 7 yards back. That's the standard. He was only about 5.
Right, they tried to go with the quick kick after they attempted to draw him off sides. Instead, Crestview was able to get in there and block it, and in essence, basically it's like a turnover. So, you get another big turnover here by the Crestview defense, puts their offense in great field position with a chance to go up by another score.
Best field position of the night for Kuhn and company with the handoff to Morris. Tripped up out across the 30-yard line. For those of you watching out on Facebook, we always encourage you, drop us a line, let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, and you just might end up on our fan zone.
Morris has been the workhorse so far, 12 carries already in the first half as we're hitting the 5-minute mark.
Also leading the team in tackles here tonight as Kuhn keeps it himself. Gets out to the 28-yard line, 2 more yards here. We'll make it 3rd and manageable. As a flag flies in at the end of the play, this certainly is going to be a personal foul.
Maybe an ejection even. Oh no, he was just trying to indicate who it was on. The official had one of the players, making sure the coaches knew and had him on the shoulder pad, and thought maybe it was a little worse than what it was.
It was Owen Barker of Crestview and Gabe Sprang of Loudonville caught up in the extracurriculars there. So it'll just be offsetting penalties, so just kind of a wake-up call for both teams.
Good piece of officiating there. Two young guys going at it out there. Called the penalty on both of them. Don't impact the game. Set up here on 3rd and 5.
Kuhn's got a 3-receiver set. 2 to his left. More down here at the bottom. but he's going up top all the way. He's got a man, and he's got a dime right on the money. Touchdown, Raymer.
Great job on the wheel route. Got him outside in space and matched up. Threw it over that left shoulder.
And look at the touch on this pass. Dropped out of the sky right where it needed to be. Great connection. Addison Raymer in for 6. The Cougars extend their lead. And I'm sure big brother Ross out there in Hillsdale, Michigan, got a big smile on his face right now. Watching baby brother carry on the tradition of great quarterback play here at Crestview. I believe that's his first career touchdown toss. PAT is up and through, so 17-7. Crestview now on top.
And that block punt, quick change of possession, and Crestview capitalizes right after that. A couple plays, and they go over the top, get the big play for the touchdown. Changes the entire complexion of the game. If you're Loudonville, you're feeling pretty good. You're down 10-7, had the ball, and then the block punt, and boom, Crestview converts, and all of a sudden you have a 10-point game here with 4:33 to go. So we'll see if Loudonville can answer. If they can get something positive to happen here before you go into the half, feel a little bit better about themselves as they do that.
Like you mentioned, all kind of set up there by that blocked punt, which was just a kind of a strange play anyways, considering that it was 4th down and 8, where they were on the field, coming with the hard count with the young quarterback, just a sophomore in there who, making his first career start, has not yet done one of these backup punts. So it just all kind of felt like it wasn't right there at that play call. And, a learning experience here for the Birds.
Learning experience. Yeah, Crestview wasn't going to fall for the fake hard count, even if so, it was still going to be 4th and 3.
Sure.
So it wasn't going to be an automatic first down. Like I said, it ended up resulting in a block punt, and Crestview converted. But last time we saw Loudonville get a great kickoff return, set themselves up in good field position with the short field. See if they can get that again.
Holloway, who tacked on the PAT, sets it up to kick it deep. Back deep, waiting for the Birds. Harper. Frankfurt next to him. This one's going to be taken by Zach Frankfurt.
He's got a seam.
That he did. Caught a couple of nice blocks. But the Crestview special teams unit able to do their job. Drop him right at about the 30-yard line. Gavin Canes that time with the tackle for Crestview.
So 4:27 to go here. We'll see if the Redbirds can put together a drive, end up with some points on the board, run this clock, and maybe get themselves to a 17-14 game going into the half.
Pretty important drive here, I think, for Loudonville from that regard, Mark. You'd really like to, even if you don't come away with points, move the ball a little bit, get some confidence back for your young quarterback here before you enter the break.
Right, make sure you eat up some clock so you don't give the ball back to Crestview yet here in the first half. So I guess we may see Peyton Reagan getting some carries here, or maybe spraying with the keeper.
He does fake it to Reagan, opens up a big hole for him. Nice arm tackle that time by Bolin.
Sprang again, doing a real good job getting out to the edge and making a positive play on first down, setting up 2nd and short.
Now under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Loudonville comes out, 3 receivers set. Reagan the lone back. They'll fake it to him, rolling left. Sprang evades the pressure. And then goes down with just enough yardage, I believe, to move the chains.
Good job by Sprang cutting up field, getting the first down, but he had that ball out there a little bit loose. You know, as experience continues to mount for him, he'll realize when he's escaping that pressure, bringing that ball down from his chest, getting two hands on it to make sure those pursuing defenders, those big defensive linemen, don't hit him from the blind side and create a fumble on that. But that time it worked. He's able to get a first down, move the chains. I think if we see the Redbirds get on the other side of the 50, we might see their tempo increase a little bit, pick up the tempo, try to get things going. But for right now, they're making sure that Crestview doesn't get the ball back yet here in the first half.
Get about 3 yards closer to midfield here. Another carry for Reagan.
And Reagan's just been a hammer tonight. He had one big run for 14 yards, but other than that, it's just 2 or 3 yards here and there, 6-yard burst here and there, just keeps pounding at you. He's got 7 carries so far on the night. See if they continue to go to that on the interior of that offensive line.
On second down, Sprang fakes it this time, running left. Gets away from a couple of would-be tacklers before getting tripped up on the play, knocked down low by Cunningham.
Nice job of Sprang. Got out wide again, evaded that tackle, broke a tackle, made a positive play, and put himself and his team in good situation here with 3rd and about 5.
There's a nice look there at the Crestview coaching staff. Always fun to watch. So many animated guys always on the sideline, and typically those are your defensive guys.
Typically your defensive guys. The offensive guys a little bit more poised and patient. And we'll see if Crestview gets a stop here. If they stop the clock with the timeout, Sprang gets away from him though.
Heck of a job by Sprang to get away from the pressure. He gets the completion too to his brother Gabe, but just not a lot there. He picks up maybe a yard, and with 90 seconds left, 4th down and 4, this is where the decision now becomes big if you're Loudonville. Do you chance it and try to pick up that first down and risk giving Crestview the ball on their own side of the 50? It's a tough call to make here for a young coach and his staff.
I'm guessing they're probably going to punt, try to get into the half just down 17-7. Coach Haverdale called the timeout, trying to get this extra possession here for his offensive squad and see if they can get good field position here, either on a punt return or maybe on another block, and see if they can get another score here yet in the last 92 seconds of the first half.
Good look at both huddles here. Coach Haverdale certainly has put his stamp here on this program. They have an identity over here at Crestview and their style of play.
Yeah, they're going to try to control the trenches, be physical, win up front with the big guys, and you see that on both sides of the ball, the importance that they stress with that style of play.
So we'll see what Coach Battaglia elects to do here.
Looks like they're going to line up and go 4 wide, spread formation.
Sprang with the hard count. And Coach Battaglia looking at his offensive coordinator, wanting to know, are we going to roll the dice? It looks like they're going to, Mark.
1 second on the play clock there, we get it off, but again, here comes that defensive line.
And it's gonna be a huge sack in the backfield near the 40. Owen Barker with his 2nd quarterback stoppage of the night.
Well, there's been some great individual efforts tonight on both sides, but I'll tell you what, this Crestview defense has been the difference so far. They've done a wonderful job of giving their offense good field position. The only points they gave up were after the big kickoff return where Loudonville had to go 14 yards. So that Crestview defense has been hungry tonight, and they've been getting after the young quarterback for Loudonville.
Cougars are feasting right now. They've gotten into the backfield a few times. As mentioned, that's the 2nd sack of the night for Barker. Sets up Kuhn and company with fantastic field position in 90 seconds. As Hayden keeps it himself. Only going to pick up about 2 on the play, and a late flag flies.
This might be from the sideline.
Looks like you're right. It's going to be a sideline warning against Loudonville, so no yardage or anything. No impact on the game per se here.
And that might just be a little bit of frustration setting in here for this young Loudonville team. Things are starting to go against them a little bit here. They're trying to hold on as the first half winds down. Crestview's going to have to pick up the tempo if they want to try to get 6 on the board unless they hit for a big play.
Kuhn thrown to the far sideline, trying to connect with Smedley. Great coverage by Harper, and it's going to be incomplete, and it's quickly 3rd and long.
Kuhn now 3 of 6 on the night.
And this will be an interesting play. I think basically the entire playbook at your disposal. I imagine this is still 2-down territory with the clock where it is.
And with the way that defense has been playing, I don't think they have any issues with going for it on 4th down and turning it over their defense if they wouldn't be successful.
Hayden steps up a little hurdle, but then hit right at the line of scrimmage before 4 birds drop him down for no gain on the play. First contact's made by Camden Stanton.
You may see him run this down as far as they can with the play clock and then try to go over the top. So we'll get a timeout.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Battaglia called the TO. So not going to allow Crestview that luxury to just milk it.
It's going to make Coach Haverdale make a decision over there. But with some of the big play capability, it wouldn't surprise me if you'd see Kuhn try to look deep, see if he can get more, or Smedley out there in space over the top and go for the big one here and try to up the lead before they go into the half.
I'm a sucker for offense. It looks like they're keeping more over on the sideline, though, but I kind of like at least the thought of that, Mark.
If nothing else, as a decoy. He's definitely made some big plays tonight on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
Definitely going to be interesting to see what they do here from the 41. You could just play it safe and punt, take yourself into the half, in all likelihood up 10, and that looks like that's the decision that Coach Haverdale has made.
Maybe it's early season. We'll see if they have the fake game going on early. Instead, nope, they're going to kick it away.
Barker with a nice-looking boot, angle toward the sideline, and they'll probably mark this out at about the 15. Right at the 15-yard line, so Barker with his first punt of the season, pretty good one.
I think the Redbirds just take a knee here, get to the half, not take any chance to turn it over here, giving Crestview another chance to score.
Oh, it's going to be tough with this first-year coach. Looking at the clock, 40 seconds, man. If we just get one nice big play here, I might just try to run it at least once, Mark, see if Reagan can do something with it and then make my decision after that. But looks like they're probably going to play it safe. You might be right. Instead, they'll put it into the hands here of Fordenwalt.
Off tackle draw, nice safe play call. If he busts it, great. If not, going to run down that clock and still accomplish the same goals that you had in mind if you just took a knee. But for Loudonville, it's been tough sledding as far as field position. You know, we talked about the one drive that they scored on, that they started, on the Crestview 14 after the big return. But other than that, started on their own 3, their own 15, their own 30, their own 15. It's just been a tough night as far as field position for the Redbirds.
2 straight runs, and Fordenwalt not much there either time. Takes us into the half with Crestview on top, 17-7. We'll step away. When we come back, we will have some halftime entertainment courtesy of the Loudonville Marching Band. Stay tuned.
Kissel's Lawncare. There's no job too big or too small for us to handle. With top-of-the-line equipment, we are guaranteed to complete your next landscaping job efficiently and professionally. A hard-working, dedicated team is what we take pride in, bringing to every job to make sure the results are the best they can be. So the next time you have a landscaping project that needs done, think smart and think Kissel.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kissel Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kissel. Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Casasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Casasa.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
It's halftime here at the Bird's Nest, where after 2 quarters of action, Crestview leads here on the road 17-7 in this all Ashland County matchup. Brian Skronsky, Mark Bullinger with you here on the call, and let's go ahead and dive into some of the tail of the tape. Let's look at some stats from the opening half, Mark, and you see that Crestview's got them doubled up in terms of total yardage. They also capitalized on that turnover.
Well, and it's give a huge amount of credit to that Crestview defense. They have just dominated the line of scrimmage, limiting the Loudonville offense while getting that big turnover on the pick six and scoring themselves to give themselves a big boost here as they go in 17-7 heading into the second half.
That was Tanner Moore with the interception that he brought back for a touchdown in the opening quarter after Crestview had been knocking on the door. They got stopped on a 4th down play inside of the 5-yard line. And then on the other side, for Loudonville, it's been real tough for them moving the football. Just 46 yards on the ground. We thought that that was going to be their bread and butter tonight. They've tried to pound it at times in the pass game. Just hasn't really been there yet. So there's a lot that they can build on here after that opening half. Just didn't feel like they got into a rhythm at any point.
They didn't find that explosive play, that big play to really make something happen. Their biggest gain from the line of scrimmage was 14 yards. They had a pass play for 14 yards. They had a running play that went for 14. But other than that, everything seemed to just be 2 or 3 yards at a time or a negative play. So we'll see if Loudonville can come up with something, execute a little bit better the second half, and maybe get a big play somewhere on the drive to get themselves going here early in the second half.
One thing that we do know for the Birds is that Peyton Reagan, he's turned out to be a hammer, man. He's absolutely outstanding at the linebacker position. When they've given him the ball in the run game, he's been able to get some short chunk yardage for him, so they've at least been able to establish that. But it's what can they get out of the young quarterback. We saw Hayden Kuhn be able to drop a dime. Can Sprang step up and do something similar?
Well, and I think that's what we may see early. We may see them really try to establish that inside run game off tackle, pound it towards the middle of that Crestview defense, just to let them know it's there, and then try to get the young quarterback out to the outside and see if he can make some plays with the legs or something out in the flat for an easy pass.
Definitely seems like that's where Matt Sprang is most comfortable, is when he gets out onto the perimeter and he's able to have the option. Can I take off if I have some room, or can I chuck it down the field if I see somebody open? As we're taking a great overhead look here of the beautiful Loudonville Valley, one of the prettiest places in the state of Ohio. Mohican just right down the road here, so just an absolutely stunning evening here at Loudonville. Great night for football.
Great night for football. Now it's getting a little bit darker. The lights are on, shining a little brighter, starting to feel a little bit more like those football Friday nights, or in this case football Thursday night, that we're ready for all fall.
This is just the season kickoff here tonight. We are covering 2 other games in the area as well. Ontario versus Lexington, and then Tiffin Calvert taking on Mohawk. So we are all over North Central Ohio this evening, bringing you all the best matchups, including this live and free edition of Crestview versus Loudonville. And wanted to let you guys know that there's a lot of scam artists out there that will be posting on our feeds throughout the season that are telling you, click here, put in your credit card information, and you can watch the game live at this particular site. No, you will never, ever have to put in credit card information. All you have to do is go to our Facebook or YouTube, always to watch. So please don't fall for any of those scam artists out there trying to make some money off of you guys just trying to watch a high school football game. So it's going to be Crestview to kick it off deep with Devin Holloway here to open up second half action. Instead, it's going to be a bit of a pooch kick, and some good hands being displayed there by number 60 of Loudonville. Not on my sheet here. Setting it up with decent field position.
Setting it up, decent field position. Going to start about the 38 or 39 yard line, and this is pretty good field position for the Redbirds. Let's see if the second half they come out, establish that inside run game, and then get their young quarterback Matt Sprang to the outside and open some things up. Big drive here for the Redbirds to start the second half.
Always nice to come out, build a little bit of confidence with your young quarterback, see if you can't tighten things up a little bit with some points. So Sprang going to be joined in the backfields by Reagan. 2 receivers up to the top of your screen. The lone wide out here to the bottom, Zach Frankfurt. And on first down, Reagan motions. Fake to him and a quick toss. And there's the connection again. Gabe Sprang, the older brother, breaking some tackles and running down the far sideline. Huge gainer. Ripped down inside the red zone. The Birds strike with a monster one.
And that's the explosive play we've been waiting for. We talked about it at the half. They hadn't had that yet tonight. But brother to brother, the Sprangs get it going. Great opening play for the Redbirds.
And how about that stiff arm there on Tanner Moore, able to just sidestep to the diving Connor Morris. Excellent stuff there from the senior. That's what you want to see from some of your veterans on an otherwise young squad.
You having a nice 58-yard play here for the Redbirds. We'll see if they can punch it in and get themselves right back in the ball game.
First down and goal. Sprang hands off Reagan. Up the middle. Knocked down at about the 2-yard line, inching his way closer to the end zone, and potentially 6 more points here for the Birds.
There's that confidence builder as well that you talked about. Something early, good, successful play call and execution for Loudonville.
Elect not to huddle here and just keep it on the ground again. Reagan churning and burning into the zone. Is he? Touchdown, Loudonville.
Great opening drive the second half here for Loudonville. They came out and made a statement. 3 plays, and they put it in the end zone.
And that's just hard running in between the tackles there. See Barker, Morris met him in the hole, but Reagan just too much determination. Gets himself into the zone. Niebert with a PAT. Looks like he shanked it a bit off to the left, so no good. And the score will remain 17-13, but the explosive play that you were looking for, Mark, they got it there. You can't get much better than a drive that ends in 58 seconds with 6.
That was a quick one. A great job again by Loudonville. Came out 3 plays. They go 61 yards in about 58 seconds. Get themselves, like I said, right back in this ball game. Now we'll see if the defense can come out and get a stop, because with that quick momentum change here, I'm sure Coach Haverdale and the Crestview Cougars on the offensive side are thinking, pound the ball here, eat up some clock, take away some of that momentum here. So we'll see if Loudonville can come out here and get a 3 and out.
A lot of energy and excitement. I went down onto the field during halftime, and there are a lot of people, Mark, here lined up along the fence here on the home side. A lot of people congregating, too, in front of the concession stand. So it's a packed house here tonight. People very excited to be able to get back out to games in the full capacity level. I mean, football's back in the great state of Ohio, buddy. This feels like a great high school football environment.
The crowd's filled in nicely, and looks like we have some people from some other schools here just getting out, trying to get in the atmosphere. So coaches from other schools getting some scouting in here early in the season. So again, great night to open up the 2021 season.
It's going to be a short kick here to the near side. Filled in on the hop here by Raymer. And Raymer out to the 35-yard line. See him shaking away from a couple of Loudonville defenders. Got an extra 5 yards on the return.
Crestview, once again, going to start with solid field position at their own 35-yard line. See if they come out and establish that run game.
It's going to be Morris starting in the backfield here. Kuhn fakes to him. Takes it up the A-gap on the left side. Not a ton of space, but does turn it into a positive gain of about 3.
Got himself about 3 there. Good job of reading the defensive end again, getting it up in the, like I said, in that A-gap, trying to get something to happen. But again, just methodical here. Looks like Crestview's going to try to start that methodical drive towards the end zone here in the third quarter.
Second down, play action, Kuhn going up top. He's got a man wide open. Sean Bailey breaking away from the pack. He catches a block, and he's going to take it in. The fireworks continue here at Loudonville to open up the third.
Well, forget the methodical. They went play action, little fake to the running back, went over the top, wide open, 62-yard touchdown.
And Kuhn put it right on the money. Sometimes it can be tough when the receivers are that open, but he puts it right on Bailey in the tight end, showing off some speed there.
Yeah, Bailey caught it in open field, and he got after it and finished it off. Like I said, 62-yard pass and catch.
And I think already through less than 2 minutes of third quarter action, we almost have as much offense as we saw in that entire first half combined.
Absolutely, and what an answer there by Crestview. You know, Loudonville comes out, goes 3 plays and scores. Crestview says, we can do better than that. 2 plays, touchdown.
So a big answer to the bell that was rang by Loudonville. Can the Birds keep the momentum rolling in their favor when they get it back on offense?
So the Cougar scoring drive there, 2 plays, 65 yards in about 50 seconds.
Whew. So a couple of touchdown drives by each of these squads in less than a minute of time.
fun for the crowd, but I'm sure the defensive coordinators are not happy right now.
I seldom find that defensive coordinators are happy with anything, though, Mark, just to be fair.
Unless there's a goose egg on that scoreboard when they're throwing the shutout, they usually find something to complain about.
Just a quick score update from one of the other games that we're covering at the OH Report tonight. Mohawk all over Tiffin Calvert, 19-0 at the half, 210 yards of total offense for the Warriors in their opening half.
And the score I received at halftime, Lexington was up 31-0 on Ontario.
That is an accurate score count, so we're going to have highlights of both of those coming up later tonight. Some recaps from our guys, Travis Berardi, Garrett Parlett, Storm Blunchley out in the field for us tonight. Flag flies in from the back official. Lands at about the 30-yard line as there's a minimal gain on the return. Good coverage there by the Cougar special teams.
Probably a block in the back.
So Loudonville, another penalty, gonna back them up. There's a look at the Loudonville student section. Don't have a ton to cheer about right at this very moment.
They went from really happy to really sad pretty quick there with that scoring drive by the Cougars, but we'll see if their offense can get them re-energized here.
Sometimes it's that 12th man that can be the difference. So we'll see if the Birds can give the youngsters in the cheering section something to cheer about.
But again, tough starting field position for the Redbirds. Back at their own 15. Third time tonight they've started a drive from their own 15.
First down, play action. Keep it here on the near side. And Spring falls forward off the option read. Pickup of about 2.
Wonder again if they're going to try to set them up and hit them with that little pop pass. And you keep using this play action and things like that just to keep the Crestview defense off guard a little bit. That defensive front for Crestview in the first half was so impressive, firing off the ball, making the right reads, and just putting pressure on Sprang that, you know, maybe they're trying to just set something up here and see if they can get something off of a counter or you know, maybe even a screen pass.
Sprang showing off some athleticism. The blitz came from the Cougars off that right side. He was able to evade both of them, but basically right back to the line of scrimmage. So third down and long is going to be what the Redbird offense is facing here.
Yep, and again, that Crestview defensive line wreaking havoc on the pocket, forcing Sprang to step up. Kept their containment, nowhere to go. Going to bring him down, setting up 3rd and 7.
Spread them out 4 wide. Single coverage here on the near side for all 3 wide receivers. Sprang putting it up on the far side. A lot of contact. Moore nearly came up with his second INT of the night. Great coverage on the play.
And I'm not sure that's the DB I'd be picking on out there. He's done a great job tonight getting himself in good position. Made one great play earlier. Now on this one, forced the incomplete pass, bringing up 4th down for the Redbirds.
Frankfurt the intended target on that last play. And again here on 4th down, the Loudonville offense showing at least that they're going to run a play.
Last time they tried to quick kick it here, Crestview was able to get the block.
This time Matt looks like he's given himself about 7 yards. So it's a low punt, fielded by Morris. Flag comes in. I think Smedley's going to be hit with a block in the back. So as of now, Connor's got him set up at the 34, but I believe this one's coming back.
Well, I was saying this might be something we see as the night wears on. It was really warm out there earlier. First game of the season, hot and muggy. When I start to see some cramping and conditioning come into play here in the second half, especially for these guys that are going both ways.
Looks like Gabe Springs receiving some treatment right now down on the field, getting stretched out. As you mentioned, it just looks like it's some cramping going on at this point. So very common, especially on these muggy nights like we have tonight, for these to happen specifically early in the season.
It looks like they're working on both legs there, trying to get those cramps out. Everybody else doing a real nice job getting to the sideline, getting some water in them, making sure they're staying hydrated.
And I don't believe we ever got any indication on a flag. Maybe they picked it up, Mark.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do with this. Looks like right now they have the ball resting on about the 33-yard line.
So it looks like that's what they're rolling with. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cougars with some phenomenal field position again, and that's been a big part of the storyline here tonight. They've had a few short fields and have capitalized.
Yeah, it's definitely been the story for Crestview. They started on their own 24, and then after that their own 39, their own 33, Loudonville 40, and their own 35. So they've had decent field position compared to Loudonville, who's just struggled being buried deep all night. Other than that long return when they started on the Crestview 14, almost all their drives were inside the 20-yard line.
Still working on spraying. Looked like cramping in both legs. And never a pleasant feeling having a cramp anywhere, but if it's going on in two parts of your body, yikes.
And that's early season. The struggle is real right there. Anybody that's dealt with cramps knows how tough that is. Hopefully get him to the sideline here, get some fluids in him, and get him back out there and finish this one out.
Certainly would love to have the senior back on the field. Not a ton of seniors out here for the Redbirds, and even fewer for Crestview. I'm sorry. I believe they just have 6 seniors on the entire roster out of 42, 14 freshmen, 15 sophomores on Coach Haverdale's bunch. First down, I think we're going to get an encroachment call. They called encroachment against the offense. I believe that would just be a false start then, Mark. So
okay. We'll move them back to 5 and we'll try again.
make it first down and 15 now. Another double tight end set. Keep it on the ground. Big hole up the middle this time. And look at Bloodhart fighting his way for some extra yardage. Probably about 10 on the game.
Well, Loudonville came with the blitz. They went with the run blitz there, and they just happened to miss the hole. They guessed wrong on where the blitz was coming from, and Crestview was able to take advantage and get a nice gainer there on first down.
So second and manageable now for the Cougars offense. Kuhn hands off again. Morris with a head of steam right up the middle. Shakes off a would-be tackler, and he takes it in 26 yards to the house.
Great run by Morris. Great vision, great strength, great legs. He was able to get it through there and put another TD on the board.
Connor Moore has done a little bit of everything here tonight. You see the strength, a little shake and wiggle to get it into the zone. Having a phenomenal night here, the 5'9" senior. Definitely going to be in the running for our Kissel's landscaping, spraying, and painting MVP. And as we got another guy down on the field, it's Frankfurt. We'll go ahead and step away, take a quick timeout. We'll be back. Third quarter action here from Loudonville.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kissel Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kissel.
Hi, I'm Josh with Scout Construction, proud sponsor of local teams and athletes. Check out your favorite local sports right here on the OH Report.
As we welcome you back, the PAT is up and true, so it's been a perfect night in the kicking game so far for Devin Holloway. He's been 4 for 4 on his point-after attempts and also drilled a field goal earlier tonight.
So the Crestview drive, 33 yards in just a little over a minute. Connor Morris has been the workhorse tonight. 13 carries, 88 yards, just about 6.7 yards per clip, plus that nice touchdown run. So definitely putting the ball in his hands and letting him go to work behind that good offensive line from Crestview.
One more look on the Scout Construction replay is just too strong, man. Strong legs in that body. Good looking stiff arm too to throw the defender down. Takes it in the extra 5 yards to pay dirt.
I think that's going to be the recipe for success this season with Crestview. Morris run the football, establishing that run game, and then run some play action, seeing if Kuhn can get some shots over the top to some of these wide receivers, make some athletic plays, some explosive plays, and see if that's the recipe for success as Crestview tries to go back to back on their conference championships and get themselves in the playoffs and see if they can go a little bit deeper this year than the second round.
8-3 overall last season, 5-1 in the Firelands. And had a blowout win in their playoff opener last season, and they've expanded the playoffs again this mark. 12 teams now getting in instead of the 8, which I know most coaches are not in favor of, but I think after about week 5, some of these fringe teams that aren't of the powerhouse variety, I do think over time the coaching staffs will start to like it because there's still something to play for even if you're not at the top of the pack.
Still something to play for, and like a lot of people have argued, it's like a lot of the other sports where everybody at the end of the season gets the opportunity to play in the postseason. I know one of the big concerns was some injuries and some blowouts. Last year even with the expanded playoffs when everybody got in if they wanted to participate that first weekend.
Yeah.
The high seeds got some buys, but even some of those mid-range seeds, there were 69-6 scores, 70 point blowouts. But with the running clock and stuff like that, I love the fact that these young men get the opportunity to play. They get a chance to put it out there on the field, and if it ends up not going their way, at least they got to finish out there on the field instead of it being based on somebody or some computer point system.
So yet again, a special teams penalty assessed against Loudonville. By my count, I think that's 3 times on kick returns that they've been called for some type of a hold or a block in the back. And as you mentioned, that's really killed him with the starting field position, particularly with the young quarterback Matt Sprang, keeping him pretty much under the shadow of his own goalpost all night.
Right, and right now if you're Loudonville, okay, it's 31-13. It looks like you're a little bit out of the ball game, but what you want to do is see growth. You want to see continued improvement from your young players. Get the reps in here, start building for next week, start seeing positives, putting together drives, trying to get some 3-and-outs, get some stops, and just progressing and trying to see that growth and improvement that coaches like to see from the first scrimmage to the second, from the second to opening night, and then, of course, from opening night to week 2.
Coaches talk about it on the record all the time. They feel like their biggest growth and jump typically is from week 1 to week 2 because you learn a lot about your team once you lace them up for real for the first time, and you're allowed to break down the film, make some adjustments, and figure out, maybe some of my guys are gamers. Maybe some of my dudes don't practice so well, but on Friday nights they're real good, and vice versa. Maybe some kids just aren't great in practice, but when they get the opportunity and it matters for real, they're a little bit better when they lace them up. So there's a lot that I think can be learned from week 1 and a lot of development to be made to week 2.
Absolutely. It's a lot about not just learning about your upcoming opponents, but learning about yourself, making the adjustments. And those really good coaching staffs, they're going to find what do we do well, and they're going to start playing to those strengths more and more as you start getting closer and closer to conference play.
Play action, quick toss out here to the near side. It's Harper with the catch. Shakes off one, but can't get by Morris. But a nice quick throw here for the quarterback.
Nice job getting the ball out quickly into space. Let Harper do the work.
And Morris with yet another tackle. He's one of the leaders last year, almost 100 for him a season ago as a junior. Second returning leader on the squad behind Gotze. Second down, they'll fake it. Sprang makes a man miss. Showing some tough running up the middle as well, and nice shiftiness to get away from Gavin Cairns in the backfield.
Yeah, real nice job cutting back against the grain, picked up some blockers, was able to cut it upfield and get himself about 10 yards and a first down.
And we've seen Loudonville go with a lot of spread here tonight. Maybe over time they'll figure out maybe Sprang's biggest strength, just taking off, cutting loose, and running downfield.
Yeah, may go back and start looking at some quarterback draws with the pressure that Crestview is starting to get, or has gotten, I should say, all night tonight. Maybe something where they put some play action stuff in, some screen game in, stuff like that, just to loosen up that pass rush a little bit in the upcoming weeks as other teams see this on film and maybe try to attack the Redbirds in that way.
Reagan with a pickup of 5 sets up a 2nd and 5 here. With under 6.5 minutes to go here in this third quarter.
And with Reagan, you have a nice solid back. Doesn't look like he's going to bust it for the big explosive play for the long touchdown, but he's a guy that's just going to grind it in there between the tackles.
Second down, another nice fake. Throws a stiff arm, but not able to get away and shed the tackle of Bolin that time.
But I think what we're seeing is we're starting to see some of the identity of what Loudonville wants to do. Using Reagan up the middle, getting Sprang on the outside off of the fake handoff, and then getting Sprang outside, throwing the short little passes out in the flat, letting his wide receivers and backs do the work out of the backfield. Again, continuing to get him some reps and some confidence here in the third quarter.
Reagan again on cue up the middle. They only needed about a yard. You figure he's good for it. One official says move the chains. Another said 4th down. But it is going to work out to be a first down for Loudonville.
And I'm really going to show my age here, but watching him run reminds me of like John Riggins back in the day for the Washington Redskins. Just big burly guy, put his head down and run. I was very young, by the way, when I saw that. No judgment here, no judging anybody, but yeah, just puts his head down. Not the most shifty of runner, but strong and powerful. Just going to put his head down and get those tough yards you need.
So Reagan showing off some signs of Riggins as they toss it inside to Harper in motion. Nice chunk play there, 9-yard pickup on first down.
Nice little counter to the action they've been showing. Again, nice little drive here so far for the Redbirds. Doing a real good job of responding to that penalty after the kickoff. Putting together a nice little drive here. See if they can get something going, but they're going to call timeout here on 2nd and short.
So that's going to be the first timeout here in the second half, taken by Coach Battaglia and his staff. On the move right now with their offense, and anything can happen, of course, Mark. Just a couple of score game here if you can punch one in. So Loudonville not dead by any means. Lots of time out here and starting to find their identity, like you said. So I'd like to see them continue this drive, go with what works, make Crestview try to step up and stop it, and if they do, that's when you try to hit them over the top, if possible, to one of your wideouts.
Absolutely. And what I like about both teams, as you talked about, is they're young. You're going to see tremendous growth from week 1 through week 11 for these teams, if they can get themselves week 11, but at least through week 10 with these teams. Young teams like that, the rate of growth is going to be instrumental. But for Loudonville, again, they're finding success and getting confidence, and they're doing it with some diversity here. They're showing the same, formation, but getting different looks off that formation, making it hard for those Crestview defenders at the front to get off the ball quick and try to get to the quarterback, because they've got to find their keys and get those reads.
Second and short. Trips here to the near side. Handoff straight up the middle with Harper. I think he's going to be just shy of the yardage needed to move the sticks. So it'll be another third and short situation. And you see all 44.
Here we go.
Checking into the ball game.
Give the big fella the football and get out of the way.
And everybody in the stadium expecting Reagan to get the ball.
But with it being third and short in this situation on this side of the field, maybe they go play action, try to get one over the top.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Crestview certainly was expecting the run. They brought everybody up front. And it looks like Reagan's going to be knocked down for about a short loss here. So 4th down on the way here for the Birds offense.
And these are the kind of situations offensive and defensive line coaches love. Let the big fellas get in there and just maul it out and see if you can execute on 4th and short. It's about who's going to be tough, who's going to be physical. Fire off the ball. Loudonville may go with a hard count here as well, try to get him to go off sides.
So they just give it to Reagan up the middle, pulling a couple of tacklers with him.
Good second effort there, was able to get the first down.
It's a nice play by Noah Stewart to break into the backfield. But Reagan and those Cavs, man, I mean, they're huge.
They're huge. They had a chance to get the stop. Reagan was able to power through, get the first down. New set of downs here for the Redbirds. Tenth play of the drive already, and they're still sitting at 38-yard line. So just grinding the ball down the field. Good play action, get the ball out in space.
Not a whole lot there for Connor Harper. Took a shot at the end of the play from Smedley. And on the backside of that play at the line of scrimmage, if you noticed, big pop too. Show it to you one more time. Boom. It was Aiden Godsey coming up, making sure that the running back didn't get anywhere. And it looks like it's going to be the second charge timeout here for Loudonville on this drive. So perhaps fatigue might be setting in a bit.
It looks like Loudonville's trying to get some things situated out. A little confused on what kind of play call they wanted to go with here on 2nd and 8. But again, they started this drive on their own 23-yard line after the penalty on the kickoff. They put themselves in good field position. Let's just see if they can get themselves in the red zone and finish this drive off with some points. Like you said, high school football, they're by no means out of it. Crazy things happen. If they can get a touchdown here, get it back to a 2-score game.
At least up to this point, Crestview has not hurt themselves with a turnover. Just one giveaway so far on the evening, and it turned out to be a big one, a pick 6 that the Birds threw on their first pass of the season. But things have settled down since then. We did have the block punt that was big as well in Crestview. That's kind of been the difference. Those two big plays turn into touchdowns. 2nd and 8. Pressure up the middle. And he's not going to be able to get away from it this time. The ball is loose.
Looks like they're going to rule him down before the fumble. But again, that Crestview defensive line just putting their head down and trying to get to the quarterback.
It was Mason Ringler that was able to get in there and get the sack. Kind of tough to tell in that replay if he was down or not before the ball ended up squirting out.
10-yard loss there for Sprang, but it looks like we're more cramping. Looks like Morris.
Yeah, Connor Morris is down on the field right now. Looks like his left calf cramping. And you see the agony on his face. And we all been there. That's one thing that even non-athletes can relate to. When you get that calf cramping up on you, Mark, it just terrorizes your whole body.
It does, and you're just looking at that trainer just basically screaming at him like, push on my toes, get that cramp out, get that thing stretched.
Yeah, for some of us, it's not playing defensive back that leads to that. We're just laying in bed trying to flip through the channel, seeing what's on late night TV, and then it'll hit you. And still, that's the same agony that comes over our face as well, Mark.
Absolutely.
Just cramping all over the place, both sidelines. Tough, man. Week one's, you hate to see it, but this is commonplace. Weather's still a little bit warm here in the state of Ohio in the month of August. Still summertime, even though fall season's kicking in here with football making its way back out here to the high school gridiron. So just got to take care of these athletes, make sure they're getting enough Gatorade and H2O in their diet. And got great trainers all around the area, know what they're doing, help these kids out.
Yep, special thanks to our trainers as well for all the hours. You know, the coaches get a lot of attention, or depending on the situation, sometimes get the blame. The players are putting in work, but you also have the trainers and other people behind the scenes, equipment people that are doing all kinds of things to make it possible for these young men and women, these athletes, to be able to get out here on Friday nights, Saturday, afternoons, whatever sport they're playing and participate. So big thanks go out to all those people behind the scenes that don't always get the recognition they deserve.
Like you saw those two water boys right there, giving out some aguas with a big smile. And, man, what a load of fun those kids always have. That's one of my favorite parts about covering games, in particular on the sideline, is getting to watch the ball boys. And, some of them are really intense and they take it super seriously. Some of them just out there running around. They just want to play catch on the sideline. So there's a big variety.
Someday we'll probably be calling their names when they're out there making the tackle or making the offensive play that we like to see. Here's a good play for the Redbirds.
Yeah, I like the play call. Little flip, misdirection there. Open things up for the senior Harper to catch the edge. And he gets a lot of that lost yardage back. So it's going to make this fourth down conversion manageable. Loudonville's going to need about 6 yards here. And they haven't thrown it great outside of the short passes. So we might have to see Matt Sprang step up and either break the pocket and make a play with his feet or chuck it downfield.
Right. And that's one thing that we've seen out of Loudonville. They've made an adjustment here in the second half as they've went to Harper a little bit on the offensive side. No carries in the first half. Second half here, 3 carries for 18 yards. So he's been a little bit of a difference maker. We'll see if they get the ball in his hands again here on fourth down.
He's in the slot. Sprang looking left all the way. It's going to be tipped and completed to Frankfurt off the deflection. And he's got him set up inside of the 20-yard line.
It doesn't matter how it gets there. He'll take the completion on fourth down and move the chains.
It looked like it was going to be disastrous at first, and wow, how about that? You see our camera guy even making a play. How about the skill set there of Austin Michael on the sideline not to get wiped out? Whew. A lot of stuff going on out there, Mark.
A lot of stuff going on. Looked like he may have gotten away with stepping out of bounds there as well, but official ruled him in bounds here as we move on here. They're inside the red zone. See if they can